Okay, you guys, so now I'm going to go ahead and touch on some products and just overall and how you guys can get your hair just properly healthy for yourself and just to deal with your particular hair type and all of that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and touch on we already said about the oily hair and the scalp and the dry hair and scalp. Okay, if you have dandruff, you guys, that is technically a little fungus called Malaysia. Malaysia is a type of fungus, and that's what dandruff is. So it is because of buildup, overly active sebaceous glands. Okay, it's a buildup, but it causes that extra flakes, and it's just an excess of it. Okay, and it's mixed in with the little fungus. It means that it's infected. You can use dandruff shampoos, you guys, conditioners to help. Sulfur 8 is really good. I'm gonna put a picture of that. Sulfur 8 is something you can use when doing certain hairstyles as well, like braids and cornrows and things like that. Sulfur 8 will give your scalp life. It's going to treat it. It's going to treat it for dandruff, and it also treats lice, but it will treat your scalp to make it healthy. Okay, and that's really good for braids as well. So if you want to use if you want your hair to not itch, especially when you have it in a weave or something like that, you guys, use Sulfur 8. I'm telling you, it does wonders. I use it when I get itchy scalp sometimes, or when I wear braids and things like that. And I used to be a straight braid wearer, and yeah, that will treat your scalp. Okay, but from oily hair and scalp, you guys, remember, you want to stimulate your hair, stimulate your scalp, get that blood flowing, massage it, use neutralizing shampoos and conditioners, and you need sulfate. Okay, you need it, that way you won't have buildup. So get it all out. Okay, get all that extra oil out, and then dry, of course. Avoid certain things. Okay, you guys, so now I'm also going to talk about other products. So when your hair, pertaining to your hair type, so when your hair is overly processed, you guys, that means your hair is pretty much not in its natural state anymore. You have manipulated it, meaning you have more than likely permed it, permanent curled it, you had relaxed it, made it relax if you have curly hair, and it's pretty much just too much for your hair. So I would say you would need more protein. Okay, more protein is going to bring your hair back to life. This is a conditioning treatment for damaged and weak hair. This is hair mayonnaise. So I've used this stuff, you guys. Like I said, my fine thin hair sometimes gets a little off track, especially after I straighten it. Even though I have not completely killed it, remember, thin hair, fine hair is more prone to getting damaged very quickly. So after I have straightened my hair, I like to, and I've worn it straight for a while, when I'm ready to put it in ponytails, I like to go in with some hair mayonnaise. Hair mayonnaise, it is water, it does have alcohol in it, but it has like collagen, it has a lot of oils into it, corn oil, leaf, and it just has a lot of good things into it. And it's ORS, the ORS hair mayonnaise, by the way. Okay, this one is more of a treatment, which you would put in your hair and then rinse it out, but you can use it as a leave-in conditioner. But the other one I like to use as a leave-in conditioner, because it is used for styling your hair, you don't have to rinse it out, is African's Best, and that one is amazing. Like I'm telling you guys, when you feel like your hair is over processed, use some mayonnaise protein. A lot of people, you can whip up their own mask and stuff like that from home. I'm sure there's a lot of videos on that. I will probably start doing a few, but hair mayonnaise is a go-to if you have overly processed hair. Just make sure that you don't overly process your hair with protein. A lot of people think that if you use protein, you're helping your hair, but if you don't understand what state your hair is in or what type of hair you have, like I personally can't use too much protein because my hair it's already fine and thin. It will be too lifeless and limp when I go and straighten it and staticky, and I don't like all of that. And also it can tend to poof up quicker. So people that use a lot of protein, you will notice when they straighten their hair starts to poof back immediately. Yeah, that's not good either. So you don't want to over process your hair with protein, too much protein either. Too much of anything can be bad, you guys. Remember that, okay? So this is just another product. And now another one that I like to mention is cholesterol. I'm taking it back, you guys. Cholesterol is what we have in beauty school, and beauty school, honestly, you had to use this for everything. When you practice hair coloring and stuff like that, you use cholesterol, but you used it in the jar form, or the, you know, like the container form. So I'll show a picture of that. And you can get the big old gallon one, but I use the hot oil one. I've been using it, and this is what I used when I wanted to go back to curly, and this is good to also use when you want to straighten your hair. This is dry, it's for dry and over processed hair, you guys. Okay, so this is the hot oil treatment. You would take, came with 3 tubes. I already used 2. But you would take the tube, you would place it in hot water, and then after you wash your hair or whatnot, you can put it on your hair and just leave it on. I leave it on as I'm doing the rest of my thing in the shower, and then I'll rinse it out, and then I'll put in like a leave-in, and then my styler to do the style. Okay, but this is life. Okay, cholesterol is an oldie but goodie, and I would recommend everybody to get this, especially if you want to avoid heat damage, and if you want to help and treat some heat damage or some over processed hair. Okay, so these are some good products to use, you guys. I'm dead serious. Very simple, basic products, but they give you life. Okay, and I've tested it not just on my hair but other people's hair too. I would do this when I notice their scalp needs some treatment, or their hair is over processed. Okay, it really does wonders. Hair in general goes through natural phases, you guys. I really am glad I'm touching on this, but hair naturally goes through stages. So you will have the growing stage, you will have the resting phase, and then you would or the transitional phase, and then the resting phase. So the anagen is the growing phase. So that usually can last up to 10 years, you guys. 3 to 5 and sometimes 10 years. So that's the growing phase. That's when your hair is at its prime, it's growing, it's sprouting and things like that. But you got to take in account all the other things you have to make sure you're doing right with your hair type in order for it to grow. You got to make sure your scalp is clean, your hair is healthy, it's not over processed, and yada yada yada. Okay, but yeah, that can last up to 10 years, and that's the growing phase. But then your hair will go 3 to 5 to 10 years. Then your hair will go through a transitional phase where it's not really growing, it's starting to shed a little bit. So then you'll be like, okay, what do I do now? You really can't do anything, because hair goes through these natural stages, and this can last up to 6 months. The catagen, which is the transitional phase, it can last up to 6 months. Okay, so your hair is pretty much just stop growing, and it's gonna start falling out. Okay, and that means it's just shedding a little bit. Okay, that means that it's just going through the transitional phase. So how you can tell if your hair is actually just going through that catagen phase or breaking is this long strands. If they're normal long strands, it's just going through the transitional phase. You can't really do nothing about it. So don't over protein your hair and think your hair just falling out and you're gonna be bald, because that's not the truth, you guys, and you're just doing more damage to your hair. Okay, but let me say this. Alopecia areata is a very distinct thing. Pretty much you're going to know that you have alopecia areata because that means it's an immune system it's attacking the hair and everything on your body. So therefore it's shutting down just the process of how hair grows and everything. So you're losing mass amounts of hair, and you will have baldness and things like that. Now we have another form of alopecia, and that one's just genetic, and that means that your hair is just thinning. It's just literally, instead of it growing regularly, like if you had thick hair or medium hair, and if you have thin hair, fine already, all it is just it's shrinking. Your hair follicle is shrinking. So that means it's more genetic and just from age and hormonal properties. Okay, but so you're just gonna make sure that your hair is just in good condition still, and just live through it. Okay, 6 months tops, I believe. And so it's just going through the transitional stage. So then next is the telogen phase. Your hair is really not gonna grow. Okay, it's just gonna go through this long periods of time where it's not growing, and you're gonna feel some type of way, but your hair is gonna start all over again. Okay, so the telogen phase doesn't last for long periods of time. Okay, it just means that your hair is transitioning to get back into the growing stage. So don't trip, don't think your hair is not growing, don't try to do more stuff to it to get it to speed up. I mean, you can always do things like drink water, exercise, stimulate your blood flow and everything to your scalp and everything, but just some natural processes you have to let happen, okay, because you don't want to do anything worse to it. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through that phase, and then you're just gonna start back as growing stage. For me, I believe I am in that phase where my hair is growing. So I believe I went through the catagen phase where my hair was shedding and it was like but now it's in that anagen phase. I believe it's going to be in that anagen phase for the next 3 to 5 years. So I'm super excited because my hair grows super fast, but I do cut it because I like it to look healthy, and with fine thin hair it just tends to break off and kind of do some weird things sometimes. But anyways, you guys, that's the truth and the reality of that part. Okay, so I just hope you guys understand everything that I talked about in these videos. And honestly, I love people to just be their best and to feel their best. And if I had to do these educational videos to make people feel that, then that's what I felt like I had to do at this point and what everything is going on. Okay, but that is pretty much it for me, just going through some of the basics, you guys. Sometimes you just got to take it back a notch, and I kind of lost touch with the professionalism of what I do. When I see a client, I always educate them and I try to tell them what they need to do for their particular hair type. But let's be real, a lot of people don't listen. I don't know why they don't listen. I am licensed, I am a professional, I do like to have fun and all that, but I feel like I know what I'm talking about. I didn't go in depth with, like, I can treat anybody's scalp as far as their condition. I can tell them if they're suffering from bigger conditions than what is normal. Okay, we are licensed by the state, so therefore we aren't, I'm gonna have to say we're doctors. I can't prescribe medicines, but we are beauty doctors, like legit beauty doctors. So I feel like I do take that part serious. I don't like to leave my clients in the dark, so I'm not going to leave you guys in the dark either. I appreciate whoever's been following me for a while, appreciate it, but I really needed to do this type of video and discuss the importance of just hair and what it's made of, and also just how you can take care of your particular hair. Okay, so I hope this video was not all rambling. I know I felt like I was talking fast and a lot, but I was really just all trying to get it out before it just kind of goes out of my mind. But serious, you guys, if you guys have any questions, any concerns, or more information that you want to learn, then go ahead and put that into the description, or not the description box, put it down below in the comment section so I can try to answer it the best way I can. And yeah, you guys, I will catch you in the next video. Bye.